Ladies and gentlemen, there are moments in life when your heart feels unbearably heavy, when loss, disappointment, anxiety, or fear sits on your chest and makes every breath feel difficult. It can feel as if no one sees you, no one understands, and no one can reach the depth of your pain. In those moments, Allah's mercy reaches directly to you, and sometimes He speaks through a single verse in the Quran, a verse that feels like a hug, a reassurance, and a promise all at once. That verse reminds you that you are not alone, that your struggles are known, and that ease is closer than you think. The first sign of Allah's mercy is in recognizing His profound awareness of our pain. The Quran tells us repeatedly that Allah is closer to us than our jugular vein, that He knows what is in our hearts, and that nothing, even a moment of grief, escapes His knowledge. This awareness is not distant, it is intimate. When you feel unseen, the Quran reminds you that Allah has never left your side. His words are there to bring comfort, to let you feel His presence, and to reassure you that every tear, every sigh, and every silent plea is recorded and cherished by the Most Merciful. Secondly, understanding that pain and trials are temporary can transform the way you face hardship. Life is a journey of tests, and each difficulty, no matter how heavy, has a limit. Allah tells us in the Quran that after every hardship comes ease. The hardest moments often precede the most profound relief. When your heart is breaking and the nights feel endless, this promise serves as a lifeline, reminding you that your current state is not permanent, and that Allah's plan encompasses a future filled with light, mercy, and blessing. The verse that provides this hug from Allah is a profound expression of His mercy and care. When you read it carefully, it speaks directly to anyone who feels pain or despair. It acknowledges human struggle, validates your feelings, and simultaneously offers hope. It assures you that Allah has not forgotten you, that He is closer than you imagine, and that your patience and faith are recognized and rewarded. The words act like a gentle embrace, comforting the soul and softening the heaviness that grips the heart. This is not just poetry, it is divine assurance that mercy, love, and relief are flowing toward you. Real-life examples bring this verse to life. Consider the person who lost their livelihood but found a new opportunity in an unexpected place, or the student who struggled for years but finally achieved clarity and success, or the individual facing illness whose recovery came after persistent prayer and patience. In every case, Allah's mercy manifested when it was needed most, and often in ways that could only be described as miraculous. These stories mirror the verse, showing us that even in our darkest moments, Allah's help arrives in perfect timing. Finally, internalizing this verse requires surrender and trust. It is not enough to read the words, you must allow them to penetrate your heart, to soften your despair, and to guide your actions. Trusting Allah means believing that He knows what is best for you, that He is orchestrating events for your ultimate benefit, and that your pain is part of a story that will end in mercy and blessing. By holding on to this verse, reflecting on its meaning, and allowing it to remind you of Allah's presence, you can navigate life's challenges with patience, hope, and faith. Your heart becomes lighter, your soul stronger, and your perspective aligned with the mercy of the Most Compassionate. This verse is a hug from Allah, a divine embrace that reaches every hurting heart, reminding you that no matter how deep your pain, His mercy is deeper, His love is constant, and His timing is perfect. When we speak about the depth of Allah's mercy, there is truly nothing in this world that can compare to it. Allah's mercy is vast, all-encompassing, and reaches every corner of existence, including the hearts of those who feel broken, lost, or overwhelmed. One of the most profound ways we can witness this mercy is through the Quran itself, which is a living, breathing source of guidance, comfort, and reassurance for anyone in pain. The words of Allah are not simply words on a page, they are a direct communication from the Most Merciful to His creation, a bridge that connects the human heart to the divine, and a balm for souls that are hurting. When you feel alone, when the burden of grief or struggle seems unbearable, the Quran reminds you that Allah knows exactly what you are going through, that He is aware of your pain, and that He has not forgotten you for even a moment. Allah's mercy is evident in the way He describes His closeness to us in the Quran. He tells us that He is nearer to us than our own jugular vein, that He knows the secrets of our hearts, and that nothing, even a single tear or sigh, escapes His knowledge. This is a remarkable reminder because often when we are in pain, we feel invisible. We feel as though no one understands the depth of what we are experiencing, that our struggles are too heavy to bear, or that our prayers are unheard. Yet Allah's words confront these feelings directly. They tell us that we are seen, that we are known, and that our very existence and experiences matter to Him. This knowledge alone can bring immense comfort because it reminds us that we are never truly alone, no matter how isolating our pain may feel. The Quran also shows us that Allah's mercy is active and ongoing. It is not a distant, passive concept, it is alive, dynamic, and continually reaching into our lives. Every verse, every ayah carries the potential to soothe, guide, and uplift the soul. When you are in distress, reading or listening to the Quran can feel like a conversation with Allah Himself. It is as if He is saying to you, I am here, I see your struggle, I am aware of your pain, and I will not abandon you. This awareness, this intimate knowledge is the first step in Allah's mercy reaching your heart. It reminds you that your trials are not meaningless and that there is a purpose to the suffering, even if it is not yet clear to your human understanding. Moreover, Allah's mercy through the Quran is not limited to a single form of comfort. He addresses our hearts, minds, and spirits simultaneously, providing reassurance that we are guided, that relief will come, and that our patience and perseverance are recognized. For instance, when He says that after every hardship comes ease, it is not just a promise of future relief, it is a lifeline for the present moment. In our darkest hours, this verse can feel like a gentle hand on the shoulder, a whisper of hope, a divine hug that tells us that the weight we carry is temporary and that something better is already being prepared for us. The Quran also reminds us that Allah's mercy is personal and tailored to each of His servants. He understands the unique struggles of every individual, the specific challenges, the particular fears, and the unseen battles we face. This personalized mercy is unlike any human comfort because humans often offer generic advice or platitudes, whereas Allah's words speak directly to the heart, addressing the depth of pain with precision, wisdom, and compassion. Every verse has layers of meaning, designed to resonate with our circumstances and to remind us that He knows, He cares, and He will act at the right moment to bring relief, guidance, and hope. The depth of Allah's mercy is further reflected in how the Quran reaches into our everyday lives. It speaks to those in despair, to those who are struggling silently, to those who feel broken, reminding them that they are not abandoned. When a person opens the Quran and reads a verse that touches the heart, it is as if Allah Himself is speaking directly to them, offering solace, reassurance, and a hug for the soul. This intimate connection between the Creator and the believer is the essence of mercy. It is constant, unwavering, and infinitely compassionate, designed to comfort anyone in pain and remind them that relief and hope are never far away. Another powerful aspect of Allah's mercy is the understanding that pain and trials in life are both temporary and purposeful. Every human being, at some point, experiences moments of difficulty, loss, or grief. These challenges can feel overwhelming, leaving the heart heavy and the mind restless. Yet the Quran repeatedly reminds us that these hardships are not eternal and that they carry wisdom, lessons, and divine planning behind them. Pain is not meaningless, nor is it a sign of neglect from Allah. On the contrary, it is a part of the intricate design of life, meant to teach patience, resilience, faith, and reliance on the most merciful. By viewing trials through this lens, believers can find hope and reassurance even in the darkest times, understanding that the discomfort they feel today is temporary and that Allah's mercy is always present, quietly guiding them toward relief. The Quran explicitly assures us that after every difficulty comes ease.
Yes.
This promise is repeated in different forms, emphasizing its certainty. When hardships feel relentless and it seems as though challenges will never end, this verse serves as a beacon of hope. It reminds the believer that nothing is permanent except the mercy of Allah and that the trials they face are designed to be surmountable with patience and trust. The knowledge that relief is coming transforms the way we experience our struggles. It allows the heart to endure with resilience, the mind to focus on solutions rather than despair, and the soul to maintain a connection with Allah even in moments of pain. Purposefulness in pain is another critical dimension. Allah does not subject His servants to hardship arbitrarily. Each trial carries meaning, often hidden from immediate perception but clear in hindsight. Struggles may teach humility, strengthen character, inspire empathy, or redirect a person toward better paths. Sometimes pain detaches us from distractions and material attachments that prevent spiritual growth. Other times it pushes us to rely more deeply on Allah, strengthening our faith and fortifying our trust in His wisdom. By understanding that hardships are purposeful, a believer can face trials with patience and dignity, knowing that the pain is temporary and that something beneficial is being prepared in its place. Real-life examples illustrate how temporary pain leads to transformation. Consider a person who loses a loved one or a job. Initially, the grief and worry feel insurmountable, yet over time new opportunities emerge, relationships grow stronger, or personal growth occurs in ways that would not have been possible without the initial hardship. Similarly, someone struggling with illness may develop resilience, empathy, or a renewed connection to Allah that changes the trajectory of their life. These experiences demonstrate that pain, while deeply challenging in the moment, carries with it a purpose that becomes evident as Allah guides His servant through the trial and toward eventual relief. Patience is the key to navigating these temporary trials. The Quran repeatedly emphasizes sabr, or patience, as a virtue that leads to reward and spiritual elevation. Patience does not mean passive suffering. It means actively maintaining faith, trust, and hope while enduring difficulties. It is through patience that the believer connects with Allah, allowing His mercy to enter the heart. Even when the trial seems endless, the awareness that it has a purpose and a limit transforms suffering into a pathway for growth, clarity, and eventually, finally, recognizing that pain is temporary, it urges hope and perseverance. It shifts the focus from despair to anticipation of Allah's mercy, allowing the heart to remain open and receptive. When you understand that your trials are part of a divine plan, that they are purposeful, and that relief is guaranteed by Allah's promise, the burden becomes light. You begin to see every moment of hardship as a stepping stone toward a brighter chapter, trusting that Allah's timing is perfect, and that the pain you endure now is preparing you for the blessings and mercy that await you. One of the most comforting aspects of Allah's mercy is found in specific verses of the Quran that act as direct embrace for those in pain. These verses are not merely words to be read. They are living guidance, carefully crafted to reach the hearts of those struggling, reassuring them that Allah sees, understands, and is present in their suffering. When a person is overwhelmed by grief, anxiety, or despair, encountering such a verse can feel like a warm hug from Allah Himself, a gentle reminder that no matter how heavy the heart feels, His mercy is closer than they imagine. These verses serve to validate the emotions of the believer, acknowledging the pain while simultaneously offering hope, strength, and reassurance that relief is coming. One verse in particular resonates deeply with those facing hardship. So truly, with hardship comes ease. Surah Ash-Shar 94:6. The simplicity of the words belies the profound power. When read sincerely, they carry the weight of divine promise, directly addressing anyone experiencing difficulty. They acknowledge that life brings trials, but they also assure the believer that no struggle is permanent. Every hardship is paired with ease, and every challenge has a resolution decreed by Allah. This verse is more than a statement. It is a divine embrace, a comforting presence that reassures the heart, reminds the mind, and strengthens the soul. It tells the believer that they are not forgotten, and that every moment of struggle is part of a greater plan orchestrated by the Most Merciful. The impact of such a verse is amplified when it is internalized. Reading it once may bring momentary relief, but when one reflects deeply on its meaning, the heart begins to accept Allah's wisdom and timing. Pain begins to feel less overwhelming, and the mind becomes calmer. The verse acts as a lens through which the believer can reinterpret the struggles, seeing them not as random misfortunes, but as purposeful experiences that will ultimately lead to growth, relief, and mercy. The verse reminds the heart to be patient, the mind to trust, and the soul to remain steadfast in its connection with Allah. Real-life examples show the transformative power of this divine hug. A person enduring financial hardship may feel hopeless, but reflecting on this verse can inspire renewed effort and trust that solutions are coming. Someone grieving a loss may feel isolated and sorrowful, yet the verse provides the reassurance that ease and comfort will arrive, even if the timing is unseen. A student struggling academically, or a worker facing continuous setbacks, can find hope in the promise that difficulty is temporary, and that perseverance, coupled with trust in Allah, will lead to improvement. Each example illustrates that when the heart absorbs the meaning of such a verse, it begins to release fear and despair, replacing them with patience, hope, and confidence in Allah's plan. The psychological and spiritual impact of these verses is profound. When a believer faces trials, the natural reaction is often worry, sadness, or frustration. But when they encounter a verse that speaks directly to the pain, it interrupts the spiral of despair. It reminds them that their struggle is known, that relief is guaranteed, and that their emotions are valid. The verse acts as a spiritual balm, comforting the heart and soothing the mind. It reassures them that they are not alone in their suffering, and that Allah's timing and wisdom are perfect. Internalizing such a verse also encourages action aligned with patience and trust. Believers are motivated to continue making efforts, seeking solutions, praying sincerely, and maintaining faith, all while holding on to the assurance that ease will follow hardship. The verse becomes a guiding light, a constant source of comfort, and a reminder that the Most Merciful is actively present in every trial. By meditating on its meaning, the heart gradually experiences the hug of Allah, feeling understood, supported, and uplifted in ways that no human comfort could replicate. This verse, like many others in the Quran, is not just a message, it is a divine embrace that speaks directly to the heart, offering reassurance, hope, and strength to anyone in pain. and reminding them that Allah's mercy is always near, His timing perfect, and His love constant. Another way Allah delivers His mercy to hearts in pain is through real-life examples that mirror the Quranic assurances, showing us that His promises are not abstract, but active in the lives of His servants. When we observe the lives of people around us, or even reflect on our own experiences, we can see countless instances where Allah's mercy manifests in moments of struggle, offering relief, guidance and comfort, exactly when it is most needed. These stories, whether personal or shared through the experience of others, demonstrate that no matter how heavy the heart feels, no matter how insurmountable the obstacles appear, Allah's care is always present, and His timing is always perfect. For instance, consider the story of a person who has endured long-term financial hardship. They may have faced months or even years of struggle, working tirelessly, yet unable to make ends meet. The anxiety and stress of such a situation can weigh heavily on the heart, causing sleepless nights and constant worry. Then at a moment that feels almost coincidental, an opportunity arises, perhaps a job, a contract, or a support system, that changes the trajectory of their life. This turning point is rarely random. It is a manifestation of Allah's mercy, unfolding at precisely the right time to bring relief. The Quran reassures us that with hardship comes ease, and these real-life instances are tangible proof that Allah's words are alive, active and practical. Similarly, someone facing the pain of loss or grief may feel that the darkness surrounding them will never lift. They may feel isolated, as though no one understands their heartache. Yet, through unexpected acts of kindness, new connections, or moments of clarity, Allah's mercy reaches them. Perhaps a friend offers support at exactly the right moment, or an opportunity for healing appears through a chance encounter, or an inspiring message. These moments demonstrate that Allah is not distant in our suffering. He is actively orchestrating circumstances to provide comfort, reassurance and guidance, validating the promise it made in the Quran, and demonstrating that relief is indeed on the horizon. Even in professional or academic struggles, Allah's mercy can manifest in ways that feel miraculous. A student who has been striving for months or years without success may suddenly gain clarity, discover the right strategy, or receive guidance that turns their situation around. A professional stuck in a stagnant career may encounter mentorship, a new opportunity, or a project that allows them to shine. These interventions often arrive subtly, appearing as coincidences or chance events, yet they are manifestations of Allah's active care, a reflection of the mercy He has promised. Observing these changes can help reinforce faith, reminding the believer that trials are temporary, that relief is coming, and that Allah is always attentive to their needs. The beauty of these real-life examples is that they illustrate the timing and precision of Allah's mercy. Relief often arrives when patience and faith have been exercised to the fullest, demonstrating that the struggle itself is part of the preparation for blessing. The pain experienced is not meaningless. It serves to strengthen character, build resilience, and refine the heart, so that when ease arrives, it is fully appreciated. In many ways, the suffering becomes a prelude to the mercy that follows, a necessary component of the journey that transforms both the circumstances and the person enduring them. Moreover, these examples serve as guidance for others who may be in similar situations. Hearing or witnessing the stories of Allah's mercy in action can uplift the hearts of those currently struggling, offering hope that their own relief is near. They demonstrate that no situation is beyond Allah's intervention, that patience and trust are rewarded, and that His timing is always perfect. Through these lived experiences, believers can witness the practical reality of Quranic assurances, seeing mercy unfold not just in abstract terms but in tangible, relatable ways that touch the heart deeply and personally. By reflecting on these examples, one begins to internalize the message that pain is never permanent, that Allah's mercy is actively present, and that relief and blessings are often closer than they appear. The experiences of others serve as living mirrors of the Quran's promises, offering hope, encouragement, and proof that Allah's hug reaches everyone in pain, exactly when they need it most. The final step in receiving the comfort of Allah's hug through the Quran is learning how to internalize His words, trust Him completely, and prepare your heart for the blessings He has in store. It is not enough to simply read or hear the verses. The true power of Allah's mercy is realized when the heart fully accepts their meaning, when the soul surrenders, and when the believer aligns their actions, intentions and emotions with the divine guidance. Internalization begins with reflection, pausing to truly consider the depth of what Allah is saying, feeling the weight of His words, and allowing them to touch the very core of your being. When a verse that promises relief and mercy is read with awareness and sincerity, it becomes more than just letters on a page. It becomes a lifeline, a source of strength and a hug that reassures the heart that it is not alone. Trusting Allah completely is the natural next step after internalization. Trust, or tawakkul, is the deep belief that Allah knows what is best, that His wisdom surpasses our understanding, and that every event in our lives is carefully orchestrated to benefit us in ways we may not yet see. When we place our trust in Him, we release the weight of anxiety and fear, allowing our hearts to rest in His care. This does not mean we stop striving or making efforts. It means we continue to act with diligence, hope, and sincerity, while understanding that the outcomes are ultimately in Allah's hands. Complete trust transforms the way we experience hardship, making it lighter, more bearable, and infused with purpose, because we know that relief is on its way, and that mercy is being prepared even when we cannot yet perceive it. Preparation for the blessings ahead requires both patience and awareness. Allah's mercy often arrives in ways that require us to recognize and embrace opportunities. Sometimes the blessings are immediate and visible, like the resolution of a long-standing problem, or the arrival of a needed opportunity. Other times they are subtle, like an inner sense of peace, clarity, or renewed motivation. By preparing the heart and mind to receive these gifts, we align ourselves with the timing of Allah's mercy. This preparation includes reflecting on our intentions, cultivating gratitude for even the smallest signs of His care, and maintaining hope and resilience during periods of trial. In doing so, we become ready to fully benefit from the ease, guidance, and blessings that Allah has promised. Internalizing a verse from the Qur'an also means applying its guidance in daily life. The comfort it provides should inspire action, whether that is increased patience, sincere prayer, renewed effort in challenges, or reaching out to others with compassion. The divine hug is not passive. It energizes the believer, reminding them that even in moments of hardship, they have the capacity to act, trust, and hope. Each step taken in alignment with Allah's guidance reinforces faith, strengthens resilience, and deepens the connection with the Most Merciful. The verse becomes a living reminder that relief is not only possible but imminent, and that Allah's mercy is active and personal. Reflecting on the meaning of the verse also encourages gratitude, which is a powerful tool for internal transformation. Recognizing Allah's care, even in small moments of comfort, shifts the heart's focus from despair to hope. Gratitude amplifies the awareness of His mercy, and opens the heart to receive more blessings. By holding the verse close to the heart and meditating on its promise, believers can find solace in knowing that every trial has a purpose, and that the ultimate outcome is designed for their good. This awareness transforms pain into patience, fear into trust, and despair into hope. Finally, by internalizing the verse, trusting Allah fully, and preparing for the blessings to come, the believer experiences the full impact of the Qur'anic hug. The heart feels lighter, the mind calmer, and the soul strengthened. Challenges are approached with renewed courage, trials are endured with steadfast patience, and hope becomes a constant companion. The verse serves as a living reminder that Allah's mercy is always near, His love unending, and His timing perfect, offering comfort, reassurance, and strength to anyone in pain, and preparing them to embrace the relief, guidance, and blessings He has meticulously arranged.